Welcome back. For 13 videos, we built the framework, the Sefirot, the worlds, the soul, Tikkun, the language, the tools. All of that was preparation. Today we do something different. Today we sit with the Zohar itself. We take a single teaching, one of the most famous passages in the entire Zohar, and we go inside it. The teaching is the Or HaGanuz, the hidden light, the primordial light that God created on the first day of creation, the light that existed before the sun, before the moon, before any celestial body, and then concealed, hidden away, reserved for the righteous in the world to come. This is the Zohar's first great meditation on Bereishit, and it touches everything we have built: Zimzum, the Sefirot, the shattering, Tikkun, and the purpose of your soul in this world. One teaching, everything converging. Let's start with the verse. Bereshit chapter 1, verse 3. Vayomer Elohim Yehi Or, Vayehi Or. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. At the Peshat level, the service, this seems straightforward. God speaks, light appears. Day 1 of creation. But the Zohar immediately asks the question that changes everything. What light? The sun isn't created until day 4. The moon isn't created until day 4. The stars, also day 4. So what is this light on day 1? What was shining when there was nothing in the sky to shine? This is the question that opens the entire teaching. Because if the light of day 1 is not physical light, not photons, not electromagnetic radiation, not sunlight, then what is it? And where did it go? The Zohar in Parashat Bereishit gives the answer. The light of the first day was the Or Kadmon, the primordial light, the first emanation of the Ein Sof into the created world. This was not a light you see with eyes. This was a light you see with, a light of consciousness, of perception, of total transparency between the Creator and creation. The Zohar says that when this light shone, Adam could see from one end of the world to the other, not geographically, spiritually. The Or Kadmon was a light of infinite seeing, where every secret was revealed, every connection was visible, every layer of reality was transparent. There was no concealment, no shell, no klippah. The world, for that first moment, was a world without hiding. And then God looked into the future. The Zohar says, God saw the generation of the flood, the generation of the Tower of Babel, the generations that would misuse this light, that would take infinite perception and turn it into a weapon of the ego. And God said, this light is too powerful for a broken world. If the wicked have access to it, they will use it to dominate, to control, to expand their darkness under the cover of stolen radiance. So God hid it. Ganas, he concealed it. He withdrew the Or Kadmon from the visible world and stored it. The Zohar says, inside the Torah itself. The hidden light, Or HaGanuz, was folded into the letters, the words, the stories, the commandments of the Torah. And there it waits, accessible to those who know how to look, invisible to those who read only the surface. Now, this teaching doesn't originate in the Zohar. It has roots in the Talmud and the Midrash. The Gemara in Chagigah discusses the light that was created on the first day and reserved for the future. Bereshit Rabbah says that God saw it was not fitting for the wicked to use this light, so he set it apart for the righteous. These are Aggadic teachings, exactly the tradition we explored 2 videos ago in the Midrash Aggadah. But the Zohar takes the teaching and does what the Zohar always does. It moves from Aggadah to Yesod, from story to structure, from narrative to the inner architecture of the Sefirot. In the Zohar's reading, the Or HaGanuz is not just a historical event that happened on day 1 and was then filed away. It is a permanent feature of reality. The hidden light is always shining. It is always present. It is the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light, as it exists within the structure of creation, concealed behind the successive garments of the worlds, the Sefirot, and the letters of Torah. The act of hiding the light is not a one-time event. It is the ongoing reality of Zimzum itself. God is always hiding and always revealing simultaneously. And the hidden light is the revelation that exists inside the hiding. Now, let's map this onto the architecture. When God says, Yehi or, let there be light, the Zohar reads this as the emergence of Chokhmah, the first flash, the first point of wisdom bursting forth from the concealment of Keter. Remember, Chokhmah is the seminal flash, the lightning bolt that appears before the mind can process it. The phrase, let there be light, is not a command to a pre-existing world. It is the first act of emanation. God speaking is God emanating, and the light that appears is the Or of Chokhmah, raw, undifferentiated, infinite in scope. Then Vayar Elohim et haor kitov, and God saw the light that it was good. The Zohar reads saw as Binah, receiving the light of Chokhmah. The flash is received. The mother takes the seminal point into herself and perceives it, develops it, gives it form. Good in Hebrew, Tov. The Zohar connects to Yesod, the Zadik. The gematria of Tov is 17, the same as the first 17 chapters of Bereshit, the years of Yaakov's life that were truly good, spent with Yosef in Egypt. The word Tov is not a casual adjective. It is a Sephirotic signal pointing to Yesod, the channel through which all blessings flows. And then Vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein ha-koshkech, and God separated between the light and the darkness. This is the act of Gevurah, separation, distinction. The light that was everything is now bounded, given a border, told where it ends and where darkness begins. Without this separation, the light would overwhelm the vessels, exactly as it did in the shattering. The act of concealing the light is an act of mercy disguised as severity. God hides the light not to punish, but to protect, to ensure that the vessels can hold what they receive. So in a single verse, one verse, the Zohar has shown you Chokhmah, Binah, Yesod, and Gevurah in action. The emanation, the reception, the channel of blessing, and the necessary contraction. The entire tree operating inside 3 Hebrew words. Now, where is the hidden light now? The Zohar's answer is extraordinary. It is in the Torah. Not as metaphor. The Zohar teaches that the Or HaGanuz was literally woven into fabric of the Torah's text. Every letter contains a spark of the primordial light. Every word is a vessel holding a fragment of that first radiance. And when a person studies Torah, particularly when they study the inner dimension, the Yesod level, they are not just learning information. They are uncovering light. They are peeling back the garments of the text and touching the radiance that was hidden inside it since the first day of creation. This is why the Zohar says that studying Torah at night is especially powerful. The Zohar in Parashat Bereishit teaches that at midnight, God enters the Garden of Eden to delight with the souls of the righteous. And in that hour, a thread of grace is drawn over those who study Torah. They are literally bathed in the hidden light. The darkness of the physical night corresponds to the concealment of the klipot, and the Torah study penetrates that darkness and draws out the Or HaGanuz. And this is not limited to scholars. The Zohar says that anyone who engages the Torah with sincerity, with an open heart, with the desire not just to know, but to be transformed, that person draws the hidden light into their soul. You don't need to be a sage. You don't need to understand every word. You need to show up. You need to sit with the text. You need to want the light. And the light will find you, because that is what it was hidden for. It was hidden for those who would seek it. And here's where this connects to everything. Remember, Tikkun is the act of finding sparks trapped in shells and liberating them. The sparks are fragments of the Or HaGanuz, the hidden light that was scattered when the vessels shattered. Those sparks are the same primordial light that shone on day one. Every act of Tikkun, every moment of consciousness brought to an unconscious situation, every act of integrity in a compromised world is an act of revealing the hidden light. The Or HaGanuz is not locked in a vault in heaven. It is here, in matter, in your daily life, in the food you eat, the people you meet, the choices you face. The light is hidden inside the darkness of the physical world. And your job, the reason your neshama descended into a body, is to find it, to uncover it, to restore it to its source. When the Zohar says the light was reserved for the Tzaddikim, the righteous, in the world to come, it doesn't only mean the afterlife. The world to come is also a state of consciousness. It is the state you enter when you see through the shells, when you perceive the light inside the darkness, when you stop experiencing the world as opaque and start experiencing it as radiant. The world to come is not a place you go when you die. It is a way of seeing that becomes available when you have done enough tikkun to clear the lens. So that's what a single Zohar teaching looks when you unpack it with the tools we have built across the entire series. One verse, let there be light. One teaching, the Or HaGanuz, and inside it, Zimzum, the Sefirot in motion, the shattering and the sparks, the concealment of the light inside Torah, the practice of Tikkun, and the promise that the light you seek is already hidden inside the world you live in, waiting for you to uncover it. This is what the Zohar does. This is how it reads. And this is what we'll be doing together from here, sitting with the text, opening it layer by layer, and letting the hidden light do its work. I will see you in the next video. Shalom.